With things getting crazy out there and people getting more and more desperate every single day, I thought it'd be a good opportunity to share my SHTF Loadout with everybody, to give you some ideas about some of the gear and some of the kit that I'm running when it comes to being more prepared for some of those major emergencies we may or may not experience here in the future. Now, there are some things missing from the kit, aka ballistic helmet and nods. I just don't have them yet. They're on the list, so don't worry about that. But I do want to caveat this conversation with the fact that I am not prior military, I'm not prior law enforcement. I'm a regular guy trying to be prepared and learning through research and training what will or won't work for my particular kit. So I'm just sharing that information with you, and I'm asking for your critiques as well as your suggestions down in the comments below, so that hopefully we can all have a constructive conversation about what may or may not be better for me to do here when it comes to my kit, because a big part of starting this channel was learning from you all as well. So I can appreciate that. We're gonna take the plate carrier, throw it on the bed of the truck, get a close-up view. We're gonna take the belt, throw it on the bed of the truck, get a close-up view, show you all the different gear and everything else, as well as talk about the rifle I have right here, the sidearm, all that good stuff, and hopefully give everybody some ideas about what makes sense in the sense of a practical SHTF loadout for 2022 and being ready for whatever might be coming our way here soon. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off the plate carrier, set it on here, and let's get this whole party started. But maybe first we need to talk about the Sig Sauer 716i. All right, so here it is, the Sig Sauer 716i. This is a 308 AR-10 style rifle. It's Sig Sauer, so there are some proprietary parts, but it's been 100% reliable and just a good rifle to run. It is heavier because it is in 308, so it weighs a little too much probably, in all honesty, but this is a battle rifle. It can reach out far. It's got a Trijicon 1:8x28 Credo right on top here, a nice LPVO style optic, which can help you reach out, but also handle close quarter stuff if you needed to. It's on a QD ADM mount, which is nice, so I can take it off and use these backup M-Bus sights if I have to. I've got a Streamlight ProTac HLX over here, which is an 1000 lumen weapon light. Good to go on that. And just keep in mind that yes, this is currently safe. It's empty, it's safe, there's nothing in it, right? We're good to go there. But this is a solid rifle, but it might not be the right choice for everybody. In fact, it's probably the wrong choice for most people. I've got a Magpul bipod here, Magpul vertical grip. It's got the Magpul MS4 sling, Magpul stock. It is a really nice, well set up rifle, and it's good at doing a lot of things well, but maybe not the best. And this heavy recoil and heavy ammo is a consideration, but this is what I'm running right now if I were to walk out the door and not have an idea as to what I might face. However, I can run my kit with 5.56, with 7.62x39, whatever I need to do in the sense of transitioning to a different platform. And this might not be the right rifle for you, but I thought you guys would like to see it, so let's move on to the plate carrier. All right, so now that we got the rifle out of the way, we're gonna talk about the plate carrier. So before I take it off, I just wanted to mention that this is actually a quick release system that this plate carrier has. This is the core plate carrier from Premier Body Armor, and I have links to all that stuff in the description as well as in the pinned comment, as well as to a lot of the other gear you'll see in the video. That way it can help you out, figure out what some of this stuff is, and then make the best decisions that you can make for your own kit. Now, I just wanted to demonstrate that this comes off very quickly. So you have a couple of different apparatuses here. This one is where you pull, and then you pull the shoulder mount out, okay? Well, if I can do it right, of course, on camera, you can't ever do these things correctly. And then this is a cummerbund quick release right here on the side as well. So go ahead and pull that, and then what that does is lets me take it off like so. Then it's nice and easy off. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and throw this on the bed of the truck, and we'll discuss exactly what's all over the plate carrier, as well as the carrier and the plates themselves, to give some ideas about how I'm running this PC. Okay, so here we have the plate carrier. This is a Premier Body Armor core plate carrier, which is high quality and has that quick detach system, which I showed you earlier, right here on the shoulder strap, as well as down here on the cummerbund. Now, what's really nice about this carrier is the cummerbund also has level 3A inserts in it, so it gives you some side protection, which other carriers may or may not. The plates I have in here are level 4 Stratus plates from Premier Body Armor. They're ceramic, and they are 10x12s and only weigh 4.4 pounds, which is huge because getting weighed down by your plate carrier is a real thing. So any weight savings you can get is a big deal, and usually that's where the cost comes into play for these plates, because of course steel plates are cheaper and everything else, but you're paying for the fact that you can get lighter weight materials which still protect you. And level 4 is where it's at, because as we all know, everyone's got 5.56 out there, and level 3 doesn't really compete with that the same way. And we also know that modern militaries around the world right now are starting to move towards different calibers because they want to be able to defeat body armor more easily. So those are things you want to keep in mind. Level 4 is where it's at. That's just my opinion. Now, moving down from the top to the bottom, we have a Petzl light right here, which is an administrative light, which is basically a headlamp, which I like on here because it lets you see in the dark a little more easily, especially if you're doing just admin stuff. It has a red light, so you don't have to give away your footprint as well. It can also blink, so in case you want, you know, teammates or whatever to know where you are. And then it has a white light too for, you know, your obvious stuff, which doesn't want to turn on right now. So that's always a good time. But what I will say is that I stole this idea from Garand Thumb, which, you know, I thought was a good idea. But if you guys hate it, let me know in the comments below. Either way, I think it has some use and it's very lightweight, and I can always just wear it on my head if I decide I don't want it on here. Moving over here, we have the Maxton microphone. Now this is set up with push to talk right here on the side and has an auxiliary port right here. It's all tied into my comm system. And what this lets me do is I can plug this directly into hearing protection or some headphones, and that way I can hear everything I need to hear through my comms, and then I can use this to broadcast what I need to say. So it's budget friendly. This thing was like $14, and yet it gets the job done. So moving down from there, we have the Becker BK18, which is a K-bar knife. This is a fixed blade, harpoon style blade. And honestly, it looks super cool and I like it, but this is a last resort knife. This is a get off of me knife. This is a fighting knife. It has no use or wear at all because I don't use it, because it's literally on this kit for one reason and one reason alone, and that's for last resort self-defense. So I think it's cool. It looks good with the whole kit, of course, and it definitely seems extremely capable and can definitely double as a bushcraft knife if need be. Who cares? I'm not going to strap that. Now, moving on, down here is the magazines, and all of my kit is going to have HSGI Taco magazine pouches. And the reason behind that is because they adapt really well to different size magazines. And right here I have 308 20-round magazines, which is what I'm running all over this kit. And 20 rounds of 308 is shaped a little bit different than, let's say, 30 rounds of 5.56. But the HSGI Tacos can take any size magazine, really, and makes it work. So what's nice about that is I can use the same kit for my 5.56 30-round mags. I can use the same kit for my AK-style mags. It doesn't matter. Either way, they'll fit, and that's why I like the HSGI Tacos. And like I said, right now, we got the 20-round 308. So it is what it is. And yeah, some morale patches, never a bad thing to have. Let's move over to the side, okay? Over here, I got some more mag pouches. Now, these are Voodoo Tactical because I don't really plan on using these pistol mags if I really don't have to, but they're there as just backup redundancy, right? It's like a $10 magazine pouch, but it does the job. It's hook and loop. Got some 21 round P320 magazines in there right now, and I don't reload from my carrier necessarily. Generally, reloads are coming from the belt, and this is additional ammo, which I can then transfer to my belt when I have a chance, but it's there if you need it, and it's just nice to have additional ammo as well as extra magazines. So I have that there. Over here is a dump pouch. Now, this dump pouch is by Condor, and the whole idea behind the dump pouch is if I need to pick stuff up off of, let's just call it the battlefield, I guess, then I have a way of storing it on me without having to worry about how I'm going to hold on to it. So this is nice to have, especially if you're trying to recoup magazines or anything along those lines. You might need a dump pouch, and there's a lot of different applications for why it could be useful, especially if you're taking battlefield pickups with you. Definitely a good thing to have. Let's move to the other side. Okay, now here's where you see my comms package. This is a Baofeng UV5R. This is what I think it's called Viperade makes this pouch. It's not the best pouch, but for some reason I like them because they allow for side or horizontal mounting, or horizontal or vertical mounting, I mean. So they do a good job of that. And then this is plugged into the microphone currently right here. And then this goes into my antenna system, which is a cattail style antenna, which goes through the back of the plate carrier, which I'll show you in a second. But UV5R with the extended battery, good way to go. And obviously, if I want to get some tunes going, I can easily do that, or I can listen to whatever frequencies I need to. And then I have the ability to, you know, jam out once in a while. Oh yeah, there we go. Coming right out through my speaker here. Beautiful. Okay, now, what I'll say, and usually if I was using this plate carrier, I'd be listening to metal or something, but whatever, it is what it is. On the back, I have auxiliary cable as well as headphones. So I can use what I have with me in the comm system if I need to have more OPSEC and if I need to be a little bit quieter, let's just say. So all that's right there, strapped on the back in a bag so that it has some water resistance to it. Okay, we'll go ahead and strap that back in, if I can one-handed. Okay, down here, gotta have a tourniquet. This is a Cat 7 or Cat Gen 7 tourniquet. And it's ready to deploy and ready to use based on whatever injury you might sustain while wearing a kit like this. So always have tourniquets, and you'll see that I have more than one tourniquet on this kit because redundancy matters, and sometimes you need two tourniquets. All right, now, move around to the back of the carrier. Okay, so on the back, I've got a camel back, which is really nice to have. This is called the armor back, and it hooks onto a plate carrier with these really simple D-clips back here, right? So they clip into the MOLLE webbing, and then the clip puts the pack right on it. And then you cinch these down the lower your water level gets, so that way it has pressure still. And what's nice is this is a 3-liter bladder on the inside, and you know, you just have access to water when you need it. So I use this regularly when we're out walking or hiking, wearing the gear, or if we're doing running and gunning stuff, then I get thirsty. It's good to have, and it allows me to have water where I need it. And if for some reason, let's say I try to get in vehicles or this is becoming problematic or too heavy, these clips come off really fast, and then boom, you just take it right off and yank it off. So yes, it can be cumbersome and can be problematic. I think water is super important, but if you decide to ditch it, it takes like 3 seconds to take it off, so no big deal. And then behind it here, you'll see I've got that cattail antenna, which then runs the cable all the way down here to the cummerbund, and then eventually makes its way to the radio system. So that's how I have the plate carrier set up. Let me know your thoughts on whether or not you think it's a good setup or whatever, or if there's any gear you would suggest or add or take off. Give me a heads up in the comments below. I'm really interested in actually learning. I'm not just here to tell you what to do. I'm here to try to figure out stuff from me too. So now that we got this out of the way, I think it's time to look at the belt. All right, now that we got the plate carrier done, we're gonna go ahead and move to the belt, or the AKA battle belt, war belt, whatever you wanna call it. Either way, you need a nice belt rig to be able to carry extra mags, your firearm, and all kinds of stuff just based on your situation. So this is actually a Raptor Tactical Odin 3 belt. So it's got this Cobra clasp here, and it's got an inner belt, which is why I wanted to show you me taking the belt off, because the inner belt is a hook and loop system that allows the outer belt to come off. Of course, you know, you have to unstrap your holster, and then once the outer belt comes off, you still have the inner belt. So it's easy and quick to throw this back on if you need to, and then it maintains its position because of the hook and loop inner belt. Now, the issue I have with it is that sometimes I like the idea of this being its own standalone system that you just clip on and you run out the door and you're good to go. So I'm still not sure how I feel about it, but let's go over the belt, and that way you can see everything that's on it. And I just wanted to show you that so you had some idea about how that whole inner belt system works. Okay, so right here I've got the belt set up the way I usually run it. And real quick on the back here, I'll show you that it's got this padding on the inner belt system. So if you run it this way with the inner belt hooked to the outer belt, you have a standalone system, or you can run it the other way I showed you before. That's all up to you. I'm not sure which way I'm sold on yet, but it gives you the option, which is nice. The other thing to keep in mind is I've got the Safariland drop leg flex holster system right here, which has the QLS adapter, which is really nice because it means you don't have to be married to any particular holster system. Right now I've got the P320 holster on right here. Go ahead, take it off, and it's got the fork mechanism right on the back, which allows for a quick detach or quick reattach of the holster. And then I can switch it to, let's just say, my Glock 45 holster, so that depending on situation, depending on what group I'm with or anything else that's happening, I can switch holsters very easily and very quickly. So I find that to be extremely beneficial, and just based on situation, you never know what holster might work better for you or what group you might be working with, and those are all things to consider. So I like that system quite a bit. Now, let's go ahead and get close up and talk about the belt from left to right and make it easy, okay? So, got HSGI taco mag pouches right here, and of course this is all mounted to the Raptor Tactical Odin 3 belt, which I just wanted to go ahead and mention with the Cobra buckles and everything, but we already said that. So HSGI taco mags, we got a single pistol here, a kangaroo pistol and rifle combo mag pouch right here, and then a single rifle mag pouch right here. Now the reason I'm doing this is because I don't like my rifle mag to be impeded, especially for the quick reload, and same with the pistol mag. So what this does is it gives me one pistol and one rifle mag for quick reloads without any kind of obstacle. And then I have the backups right here, which saves me a little bit of real estate, but still allows me to get them quickly if I need to. But this is my number 1 pistol, my number 1 rifle, and then these are both number 2. So that's just kind of how I have that layered. It saved me some space on the belt, but it also still lets me carry 2 mags of each, which I really appreciate. And like I said, with the HSGI taco mags, you have the 308 20-round magazines right here, and it fits those no problem, but it can also fit your 5.56 magazines, as well as your AK 7.62x39 or 5.45x39 mags, whatever you got, it'll fit in these taco mag pouches, which is why I like it, because the system's very adaptable. Just like with the holster system, I can switch out to whatever mags I need to as well. So very easy to use. I like the HSGI stuff quite a bit. Now, here I have a Raptor Tactical small utility pouch. Now, what's nice about the utility pouch here is it gives me some practicality in the sense of additional gear I might need, especially if I end up out and about for a long period of time without an extra backpack or without a plate carrier or anything like that. So right here on the front, I've got 3 chem lights, which are ready to go. And then let's go ahead and open up the pouch so you can see exactly what I'm bringing with me. And keep in mind, I'm a prepper, not a Navy SEAL. So some of this stuff is so if I get myself in a precarious situation that I can't get out of easily, I have something to get by with, all right? So first and foremost, we have some 5-hour energy. In case things take a long time and I need a little extra perk, I have this with me. So that's nice, helps stay awake, you know, keep you going if you need it. We also have some calories. This is just some crappy chewy bar, but it's some food, and I'll probably switch this out for something a little bit higher in protein and calories, but for right now, that's what's in there and what's left over from that last training class I was at. Either way, this gives you some form of calories to keep moving forward if you need it. And then let's see. So as you can see, I'm not running a canteen system at all on the belt. And I have the water bladder on the plate carrier, which is usually my primary water source. But if I have to ditch the carrier and I only have the belt, the way I'm carrying water right here is my compromise of not having a canteen, but still having access. So I have emergency drinking water pouches here from Daytrex. Now these are super nice because they don't tear. You can freeze them, you can do whatever you want with them, and they pretty much will not rip and they will not spill. So these are nice to have. Each one has 4 ounces in it, and I've got 2 of these in here, which allows me to have 8 ounces of drinking water, which hopefully buys me enough time to get to a water source, because once that happens, I've got a Sawyer Mini. Now I can drink out of any other water source with this, and generally it'll clean the water and filter it out pretty well. And then what's nice about that is if I find a water source and I no longer have access to these 2 pouches, then I also have the Sawyer Mini foldable canteen or flat canteen, whatever you want to call it. But either way, this holds 16 ounces of water, and then the Sawyer Mini can direct thread right onto it, which is really nice in the sense of being able to have additional water on me. So this is my compromise for not having a canteen, and this allows me to have a little bit of calories and a little bit of a pick-me-up in case things take longer than you would have expected. Okay, now we also have, let's see, I've got a pen right here. This is a Write in the Rain pen because I also have a Write in the Rain notepad. This is for admin stuff or for marking locations or taking notes about whatever it is you might need to do, but it's a good thing to have in the sense of being able to write stuff down and not have to remember it, all right? Then we also have some very, very basic survival stuff. And when I say very basic, I mean we have, let's see, chapstick, which is great because you can use it for lubrication, you can use it for starting a fire, you can use it for chapstick. So it has a lot of applications, and then it's very small and compact, of course. And then I also have a lighter, and if you get a pink one, nobody else will try to take it. So that's nice to have, and I carry a lighter in just about every kit that I own because fire is important. I also have spare batteries. These are CR123As. This is for my weapons lights, and that way the firearm lights I have on my pistols will always have additional batteries, whereas I don't carry my primary weapon system batteries in this pouch because I might not have my primary weapon system with me, and those batteries are usually actually right on the primary weapon system itself in like a grip module or something like that. So that's all in there, and this is so I can keep my weapon light running longer, and in case it goes down, that's the easiest fix. It might be dead batteries, and I have them with me. And then besides that, there's nothing else in the pouch, and as you can see, it's a very basic pouch, nothing too crazy going on in there, but it does at least allow me to have some additional supplies. And like I said, I'm not a Navy SEAL, I'm a prepper, so these things allow me to survive in case things get a little dicey for a little too long that I wasn't preparing for necessarily being out for, okay? So time-wise, these things will help get you through a little bit further, and especially if things happen in an overnight sense, it's nice to have additional supplies. Moving on from there, I've got the Refuge Medical SOB First Aid Kit. Now this SOB First Aid Kit is really nice because it's super low profile. As you can see, it's very thin, and it's one of the only first aid kits I've found that I can put on my back and still be able to sit in a vehicle with. So I think that's important. It's got a Cat 7 tourniquet right here on the bottom that's easily accessible. So I have 2 tourniquets on the kit now with this and the one on the plate carrier. Very important. And then inside this kit is actually a quick pull pouch that comes right out, which is what you can then get all of your medical supplies out of. So if somebody else is behind you and needs it, they can grab it right out. If you need it, it's easier to grab this out than trying to take apart some kind of mechanical obstacle system that might be there. So this is very important to have and also very user-friendly. So I really like this kit. And behind it here, I've got a K-bar fighting knife, which, let's be honest, it is exactly for what I just said, fighting, right? So this is a good old school K-bar fighting knife, right? And this is one with a serrated blade. And honestly, it's not very well used, right? Because this isn't a bushcraft knife. This isn't going out in the woods and cutting down trees and whatnot. This is literally for what it's designed for, defending myself if for some reason somebody gets too close, or maybe I run out of ammo, who knows? But either way, this is an awesome tool to have. And there are probably better knives out there, full tang knives that are a little bit more capable, can do a little bit more, but you know what? This one is exactly purpose built, and it also was a gift, so it has some sentimental value, which does matter. Here's that QLS system from Safariland. It's got the leg buckle and everything you might need too, so that way if you need to strap it to your leg, have a little bit more rigidity, you can do that. And what's really nice is I found with the drop leg adapter and that leg strap that it carries the P320 much better, because this is a very heavy pistol. This thing weighs about 40 ounces because it's tungsten infused, it has the magwell, all the stuff on it, so it can actually be a little heavy, and if you don't have a drop leg adapter for it, it's a little too heavy to wear in a standard holster. So I found that to be beneficial while using this holster with it. And then moving on down from there, I've just got like an HK style hook here on a Velcro loop, which goes right through the MOLLE webbing, which allows me to have my mechanics wear, just basic gloves here for wherever I need them. So if I have the gloves on, great, but if I don't and I want to still have them on my person, I can slap them onto this hook right here and I'll be good to go. So that's the rundown of the belt. I think that it's pretty well purpose built, but it also has, you know, some practicality to it, and it has a little bit of additional supplies just in case things go in the wrong direction, let's just say. So I'll go ahead and move on to just showing you guys the firearms now, the sidearms, because you know it's something you might be interested in, and then we'll move on from there. Okay, and quick overview of these two pistols, just because I'm sure you're curious. This is a Safariland 6300 series holster, which does a good job of maintaining a lower IR footprint in the sense of heat when it comes to this material, and it's durable and it does the job, and it's been doing a job for a long time. I prefer Safariland holsters. This is a 7300 series, different material, still it does a good job. And if I'm gonna pick one type of holster company for my duty style holsters, it's gonna be Safariland for all the reasons we already went over basically, right? So it's got the ALS system, which right here is a thumb system where you have to pull down on this in order to release the firearm. And then of course, these are both set up for red dot accommodating shrouds, which allows your red dot to go into the holster and then also slightly protects it from the elements, especially if it's raining or something like that and you don't want water in your lens. Now, that's the P320 X-Carry Legion. I'm gonna go ahead, make sure that the magazine's out. It is unloaded and safe, and this is a full-size frame with a compact slide, but it has almost a full-size barrel with a 4.6-inch threaded barrel. So this is a interesting configuration from Sig Sauer, but it's one of their top of the line models. And this is a TXG tungsten infused grip module with the flared magwell on the bottom for quick reloads, which weighs 40 ounces in total because of all that, which is very heavy for a sidearm. That leads to good recoil management. It's a nice, pleasant gun to shoot, but it is a little heavy to carry around all the time. That being said, the military has switched over to the P320 platform. Many police units throughout the country are also switching over to the P320, and the P320 is a modular system, which means this will interact with any other P320 out there, and I can take parts or whatever I got to do to keep things up and running. So that's one of the reasons why this firearm is now in my collection. This one has a Sig Sauer Romeo 2 optic with 6 MOA red dot right here on top, and this is a nice ruggedized optic that has a fully enclosed shroud you can install, which allows it to keep out the elements, rain, snow, or whatever else it might be. And you can see torture tests of this optic on channels like Sage Dynamics, where they actually show that this is probably the best pistol red dot optic that Sig Sauer has put out thus far. So a very nice optic. It does a great job, has a very crisp dot, and it even has this little rear notch in the back, which lines up perfect with a suppressor height front sight in the front, which is a True Glow, or actually a Sig X-ray sight, which is tritium and lights up very nice in the dark in case you need it, and in case your optic goes down, you still have a way to aim. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is I got the Surefire X300 Ultra right here on the front, which is a very bright weapon light that has been proven over time to be very durable and very reliable. It's very intuitive and easy to use, and it does a great job. So this is the P320 that I'm running right now. It just gives you some ideas about sidearm selection, and based on if I'm in a different location or if the most likely encounter I'm going to have is with police or military, something like that, this gives me more parts compatibility in that aspect. Now let's talk about the Glock. So this Glock is unloaded and safe as well. This is the Glock 45 MOS. Now the Glock 45 MOS is a 9mm, like I said before, that's set up with a short slide and a large frame. So this is a Glock 17 frame with a Glock 19 slide. And on top here I have a Trijicon RMR 3.25 MOA red dot, a very durable, very proven red dot sight, but it's not fully enclosed, so sometimes it can struggle with things like rain or dust or whatever else might get into the emitter. I have Trijicon suppressor height night sights installed as well, because Glock factory sights are pretty trash, but these do a great job of giving me a basically co-witness through the red dot, which allows me to use it even if the red dot goes down. So it's always good to have redundancy, right? And then on the front here, I have a Streamlight TLR1 HL weapon light, another very good weapon light, very intuitive, does a good job. It's very bright. Yeah, it might not be as rugged or durable as the Surefire, but it's also about a third the price. And from what I've seen and from what I do, it's been 100% reliable and good to go. So I have no issues with that at all. And this is a quality firearm, and we all know that Glock is extremely reliable and extremely durable. So the reason I would choose the Glock over the Sig is if I was going with one of my mutual assistance groups that generally runs Glocks as their sidearms, this would make more sense in the sense of having universal parts and magazines and everything else. And then like I said with the Sig, it's based on if the groups or whatever I'm interacting with tends to be running P320s, I have that option. So that's the two sidearms. I just wanted to show you those real quick. And I think this is a 3.9-inch barrel in here, which is your standard compact size barrel. And then like I said, a full size frame. So basically, this is kind of a clone of what the military got submitted in the sense of the Glock for their handgun program. This was a Glock 19X setup, but the Glock 45 actually has the Gen 5 improvements that the Glock 19X was lacking in some departments, especially with this MOS optics mounting plate. So either way, great sidearms, good to go, but let's go ahead and wrap the rest of this video up and do a little bit of like exiting thoughts. Hopefully you found this video informative. Hopefully you got some ideas from it. And if you have ideas about my kit or efficiencies that I could improve on, please leave them in the comments below. Look, we just want to be as prepared as we can for any scenario. And although food and water and things of that nature take priority when it comes to preparedness, this stuff is important too. You never know when you're going to need this stuff, but a big part of this stuff is going out and getting training and being physically fit enough to actually use it. So make sure you're working on that as well, because without proper training and without the ability to actually wield weapons platforms like this one while carrying a lot of weight and a plate carrier and a belt at the same time, without that ability, you're not going to be able to do it, and it's not going to matter. So these are things we have to consider. There's links in the description as well as in the pinned comment for some of the gear that I showed here in the video. And if you have any questions for me at all, you can comment below or go to magicprepper.com and send me an email. Either way, I just wanted to share this with you. You guys are awesome. Do what you have to do to be better prepared. And besides that, that's going to be it for Magic Prepper.